Howard Stern Show.
Who on your team decided to do the Oprah interview in 2013? That's where you decided to come clean. I'm going to come out here. There's all this fucking shit. I'm going to go on Oprah and I'm going to tell my real true story.
Timing was tough on that, and it was too soon. It was too soon for a lot of people, and it was too detailed and too just shocking for a lot of people. But the reason that I decided to sit with her was that not because we did have an existing relationship and I liked Oprah. I like Oprah and I trust her. But I knew that I was going to get sued. And I knew I was going to get sued 6 ways to Sunday. And so
after the interview, you mean?
When the report came out and they stripped the titles, I fucking knew they were lining up.
Right.
And so you know what happens. You've been sued, I'm sure. When you get sued, what's the first thing that happens? You get deposed. Right. When you get deposed, the first thing you do, you take the oath. So I was not. So did I want to sit with Oprah, who I liked and trusted, or did I want to sit in a small room at a lawyer's office with a grainy video, some guy just hammering my ass and leaking the video?
Right.
So I said, "Fuck it. I'm just gonna get it out there."
You glad you did it?
Yeah. It had to happen, and I know that.
Was Oprah the right person to do it with?
Well. It's easy to sit here and grade that. I mean,
was she sympathetic? Was she, in your opinion, looking back on that interview?
I think she was sympathetic. I think she felt a lot of pressure from the journal, sports writers and journalists in the world to say, you give this fucker some softballs, you're done. And so she came out smoking, right? And a good friend of mine really sums it up this way, and I believe this. He says, for non-cycling and sports fans, it was way too much.
Right.
You're talking about EPO and transfusions and all. They were like, whoa. And then for the cycling fan, it wasn't enough. You didn't say enough. You didn't tattletale enough. You didn't rat enough. You didn't say enough. So
no one was satisfied.
Everybody's pissed.
So people were where you went into the interview thinking, at least now some people will feel satisfied.
Fuck, I left there thinking, wow, that was pretty good, and it was. The
reaction was brutal.
Brutal.
Have you heard from Oprah since that interview?
A little bit.
She checks in on you?
I wouldn't say she checks. I've actually changed my number since then, so I don't know if I've but hey, Oprah, if you're listening, I'll text you about your number. But no, she's. I talked to. I haven't talked to her in a while, but she's. I think Oprah's cool.
Do you?
You want me to say no? No, I do. I mean, you may not, but I...
No. I don't know. I just sometimes I wonder if you feel used by her in a sense that.
Look, I reached out to her. I mean, I knew I had to get this story out there. I'll just look. Let's get right to it. I knew I had to get the story out there. I talked to her, and I talked to Tom Brokaw, who's a very good friend of mine.
Right.
You said, was that the right place? No disrespect to Oprah, and it really affected my relationship with Brokaw, who I love like an uncle or a father figure. But that might have been a better place to go.
To Brokaw?
Yeah.
Why?
But even...
Because he would have been fairer with you?
You know, it's interesting. I mean, no, I don't know. Look, it was not... January of 2013, nobody, whether you're an American or somebody from abroad, they weren't prepared for that.
Yeah.
And, look, I'm sitting here today, we're talking about it. I don't know what your audience is going to think of this. I suspect... they'll have more perspective on the story, so their reaction will be a little softer. I did, not to keep going back to podcasts, but I did Joe Rogan a year ago.
Yeah.
And he and I had a gnarly conversation, 2 hours. I mean, the number one
Nasty.
We broke it all down.
Yeah.
And the number one piece of feedback that we got from people is like, dude, why didn't you just say that? You should have done that.
You should have done the Joe Rogan show.
Instead of Oprah. Yeah. But that's 4 years after. So it's people have lived with the story. Fucking January of 13, they were like, what? They were fucking pissed.
Maybe because, like on the Joe Rogan show, you had a chance to sit there for 2 hours and sort of put it all in perspective. Like, okay, I ain't saying it's right, but I did it. I wasn't proud of it. Yep. Everybody was doing it. Yep. And I'm not saying it's an excuse. You probably just came off better.
I don't think it's not the problem. The it isn't the problem. The way I acted was the problem. So fuck the it.
It was all the denying.
It was the and with that came the ride that everybody went on. I know, and I know that there were fans or just people that had my back, right? You want people to have your back. Oh, that was a great show. They'd sit around and tell their friends. Their friends say, no, it sucked. You want that person to go, no, it was great. I had people doing that for me in every corner office, every cocktail party, every bike ride, doing that. And then they look like assholes.
Right.
And so that's the process that you got to, I said it earlier. I mean, that's betrayal.
Did you get offered a lot of money for that interview that you did for Oprah?
No,
did other people come to you and say, we'll offer you money for some sort of exclusive or anything like that?
I never would have taken money.
Yeah, that would have been really...
that's some chicken shit. There are plenty of people in the story that did take money.
Yeah.
But that's not, that's not my MO.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine it's like the whole thing's fucking a nightmare.